Hey, it's Jang here from LegoJang.com with a LEGO Galaxy Squad Wave 2 Spring to Summer of 2013 set review. This here is the CLS-89 Eradicator mech set, and this has quite some interesting surprises in it. With 440 pieces, this was sold at 40 to 45 bucks, and it's set number 70707. A lot of sevens and zeros there. All right, so here we go. What are we going to talk about? First, let's talk about the minifigures. The minifigures are Jack Fireblade. First off, this is Jack Fireblade. Orange team leader he is, just using the standard torso and leg pieces, and not too much interest in the face. And then here is his robot sidekick. This is my favorite of the robot sidekick figures personally. Has wings on the back, and he also has a large weapon, which I'll show you a little bit later on. And then moving on, instead of having manned powered vehicles that are representing the bug or bugoid side, we get drones this time. So one land-based one and one winged one. So I'm going to move the mech out of the way for a second and just focus on these. These are different. Previously we've only seen the bugs that actually have a little minifigure sized bugoid on them. So these here are drones. They are autonomous. They're able to work on their own. They probably work from a colony with a central control system, and they're clearly inspired by ants. The design of them is very ant-like. And we've moved from the purple, these instead of having the purple cocoons, these have the trans neon greenish yellow cocoons, and it's egg-shaped this time. So they use the tall piece, the taller piece that was used for the bugoid powered or manned ones previously in wave 1, and then on the top they went with the hemisphere size or shaped one. So it's round here and taller here. That makes for an interesting shape, and they still fit a minifigure inside of there for trapping our good Galaxy Squad guys. And just a little bit of a different build between the two, but these look really good. I'm really happy with these for what they are. They look just right. It makes sense. It's believable. A little bit of pinchers down there. Nice what they did here to get the angle on the head. It just angles back just a little bit. You can see it's using the 2x2 top plate on that hinge piece, and then the little 2/3 high slope with the studs on the side used from the bracket, this light bluish gray bracket here. And with the winged one, you can adjust the angles of the wings, and you can even bring them, you can also adjust the angle of the cocoon on the abdomen, but you can, oops, that just fell right off, my bad. Brought that in a little bit too close, but you can kind of bring the wings in a little bit closer like that, and then you can make it look like it's aggravated and it's getting ready to either attack or take off by moving this up like that. So that's pretty interesting to me. But I like these two quite a lot, and they're a nice addition to a set that's really not focusing on them. This is the focus of the set right here, the actual Eradicator mech. And I didn't do a speed build on this because it took quite a long time, and it takes a lot of effort to do a speed build portion of a video when I've got so many things to put together. So this is pretty good in size. I will go ahead and put Jack Fireblade in place. You see you do have this interesting cockpit piece with an extra 2 length on the back of just a vertical and horizontal space, and this here is all curved in. It does have a little bit of a, it's hard to see, but there's a little bit of a control panel down there at the bottom, and then this light bluish trans piece is supposed to be like a little display, maybe a touch screen, or have some data that would show in real time. There we go. Just fit him in there, and that gives you a better idea of the scale of this. Really nice. Fits down there in the cockpit. Kind of sleek and interesting. Sleek looking nose there. very large weapons. So these are all flick fire missiles over here. You've got 5 of them, and they're activated kind of remotely, where you push in here, these can't go all the way in, the missile comes out. And you have 5 of those, you can almost launch them all at the same time. 2 more flick fire missiles here underneath these sort of wing-like structures, and then this is supposed to be just a laser cannon. And I'm assuming that the reason that they did it like a minigun or a Gatling gun is that one of them would fire at a time. So only one barrel would be firing off. It would give it a chance to cool. The next one fires, next one fires, next one fires, next one fires, all the way around until the original one, the first one, had a chance to cool. So it allows you to put out a lot more firepower without having to wait for cooldowns as frequently. These arms can move. You can see that they have a ball joint in here, so these can be angled just about any way. And you know, he can be just walking around just shooting things both ways, and he probably has controls that give him left arm control with his left hand and vice versa. And then the legs, so again, we've got ball joints down here at the base of the legs, so the feet have all this articulation, but they kind of need to stay in this position to give it the stability. The feet have good stability to them, but the ball joints alone would allow it to kind of just, you can see how that's just falling over from gravity. So that's why they have these parts that kind of hold that up. But you still can rotate them around a little bit, so that's good. And then there is the ability to adjust your overall attitude. You can see it can lean pretty far. That's about as far as it'll go before it starts to tip. Yeah, see, it already almost wants to tip right there. But you can do those also individually, which allows you to go into a sort of walking sort of pose. I'm going to actually move these outward. You can see that they can adjust outward this way also. And hopefully, yeah, there we go. Look at that. That's pretty cool, actually. You know, he's looking down and he's just walking forward through the battlefield. So that gives you some nice posability, and I really appreciate that. And it's more than is really needed for this type of figure. So I'm thankful for the extra abilities that are allowed here. I'm just going to keep them all the way up, turning them around, looking towards the back. More does have a fair amount of stickers used around the whole thing. Here you can see a little bit of green splash that was used down here to represent having stepped on bugs out in the battlefield. Looks a little odd from the back. I guess these are like turbines, like he's powered by you know, turbine power or something like that, or maybe it's just the power plant inside. Just a little strange. A couple of weapon holsters back here. It's just, I don't know. The legs look like they should work from this side also. Actually, the legs might even look a little bit better, I think, from this side than they do from the other. So maybe turning them around is something that you might want to decide to do, like that. Just do like, oops, I'm almost taking it apart. That's not what I meant to do. Just do like that, like so. Maybe you can just do like that, and wait a minute, the whole thing is able to rotate around. Huh. Well, that's a cool trick. That gives you even more ability to control the battlefield. You can just be walking around and, you know, shooting stuff in every kind of direction. Well, there's a lot more to this than meets the eye, as it turns out, because this whole thing with the wings on it and such, well, there's a reason for those wings. Here's the reason right here. Oh, that comes off and he can fly off. So Jack Fireblade actually has a little starfighter here, they call it a jet, but of course in space you wouldn't have a jet. So let's look at just that, because that's really cool. I like this little spacecraft for something so small. And it's kind of a transforming feature, you know, where you have a mech and then you have this separate thing. So maybe if he needs to get away, or maybe if he needs to chase some flying bugs, like since we got one land bug and one flying bug in the set, this allows you to go after them. And that's pretty cool. You know, that's why he has his own missiles here, and you can see the little thruster or engine outlets, I guess is what those are supposed to represent. And he has the ability to do bombing runs, because this opens up and out falls this little, it's kind of like a space depth charge. It's a little nuclear bomb. I like that. Got the little trans orange piece on there. It's kind of hidden back in there. Very nice, you know, fits in pretty well. But then that leaves behind this mech that now kind of looks like it has lost its way. So what do we do about that? Well, how about we do how about we do that, huh? What do you say? How about we keep this mech fully operational, even though the whole section of it has gone away. And now how about we take our little robot sidekick, open this up, place him in there, still has room even with his wings on the back. Look at that, the left room open there. And then close that up, and there you go. You still have a fully functional, fully operational mech, even after separating out this section right here. That's all fully intentional. It's all part of the design of the Eradicator mech set, and I think it's brilliant that you still get to have two things that still work completely. These still fire, and now you can see these are just kind of on the back, like kind of looks more normal, more in place. You can decide how you want to angle these. You can keep them down here for low center of gravity if you want, or if you want to have them up higher, if that looks better to you. Whatever looks better to you. Turn this around, and I'm just gonna adjust this up here. It can still work facing this direction. So either whatever direction you want them to go, they have certain ones that they kind of suggest on the packaging for which way it should be facing in each mode, but you can really choose depending upon what you like the look of the most. You know, there isn't a right answer. It's a toy. You play with it however you choose to. That is up to you. But it's great that they give you these extra choices. And then these here pistols, right? These come off, and Jack Fireblade can actually use these if he's not in his little plane. So that's what those are for. And then this extra thing here that's kind of hanging when it's upside down, that is a weapon also. And that's, oops, that was not supposed to come out like that. This part is supposed to stay in place. Whoops, get back in there. Get back in there, do it. Come on, there we go. Okay, so take the robot sidekick out. There you go. And you will see that he has a sight. So I think this is some sort of like a sonic boom kind of cannon, because just look at the size of that. Either that or some energy mesh field, like a stunner field. That's supposed to kind of line up like that. It gives him a little bit of a sight. Can't really move it down much more than that because of his shoulder armor, but that's what that part is there, and they give you a place to store it when it's not in use. So really cool. Lots of different things that you can do with this. I'm really impressed by this set. They gave us a proper set here. Let's see if I can remember how this goes now. You turn this up, and then you turn these up a little bit. They don't have to go all the way, and he just comes right in, and the robot figure will stay in place. He actually does attach if you want to just leave him there the whole time for a quick transformation. This just lands, just kind of docks like so. This turns back up, this turns back up like that, and then I'll move these out, angle this back just a little bit, give them better balance, and there you go. Back to the original form of the Eradicator mech. In this case, I'm just going to leave our little robot sidekick out. It's probably not going to stand up very well on this surface that I have here. It's a little bit soft, but hopefully, there we go. Just get him to balance and bring back into picture one of the drone bugs, and bring back into the picture another of the drone bugs, the Eradicator mech, CLS-89 it is called. And I'm really happy with this set from Wave 2 of LEGO Galaxy Squad with Jack Fireblade, his robot sidekick, great mech, and very cool little new drone style insectoid baddies to go against. So really enjoy that, and I'm looking forward to more, and I hope that you are too. So stay tuned, and I'll talk to you again soon.